You can't handle the truth.
Hello everybody, my name is Ifan Yoba and this is 360 Degree Mastery. This is the channel where we teach you personal effectiveness, self-mastery and how to create, grow and manage your wealth. Now today's video, I want to make it a quick one because I want to talk about something that plagues a lot of us in life, and that is fear. Right now, I'm in the city of Baltimore, I'm in the US, and I was brought here by a consortium of Nigerian students who wanted me to come and talk to them about small business development, personal effectiveness, and self-mastery. It was a wonderful session, but by special request, I cannot share clips from that session. I cannot share photos on my platform. They actually requested that I keep it anonymous, and I do not do so. But it was a session to change lives. All right, I talked, we shared, we made breakthroughs. My book, One More Round, my new book, was so well received. So many of them, they keyed into the one more round principle. And after the program, a young lady came up to me and we started talking, and she was talking to me about how she is so afraid. Fear has gripped her life and is preventing her from taking decisions that will move her life forward. And that's what I want to talk about today. You see, in life, there are 4 main types of fears that we experience. 5 if you are a millennial. And those fears are, number 1, the fear of failure. Number 2, the fear of rejection. Number 3, the fear of humiliation. And number 4, the fear of injury or death. And then there's a 5th one, which is the fear of missing out. But like I said, it won't bother you too much unless you are a millennial. Now, fear is a terrible thing. If you allow it to dictate the pace of your life, then you will not move forward. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the fear of failure. I've talked so many times on this platform about the need for you to have that worst case scenario mindset. Play that game with yourself. Okay, if you're going to do something and you're afraid to do it, ask yourself, what is the worst case scenario? What's the worst thing that could happen if I do this thing and if I fail? Once you have played that scenario in your mind, you begin to lose your fear of it. Okay, then you zero your mind and you go all in. It is very, very important that you do not allow the fear of failure prevent you from doing that thing that you want to do or you need to do. You'll be amazed at how many people do not actually try for fear of failure. The second type of fear that a lot of people experience is the fear of rejection. You want to take a step in your life, you want to talk to somebody and make that person a part of your life or become a part of that person's life. You want to aspire to something social, but you do not do that. You do not take that step because you're afraid of being rejected. Now, being rejected is not the worst thing that can happen to you. I'm not just saying it, okay? I'm not saying it. I've experienced it. I've experienced rejection at so many levels in this life. Okay, being an entrepreneur, being a business person, I have applied for things, I've been rejected. I've applied for jobs, I have been rejected. I have tried to start relationships, I have been rejected. But it doesn't stop me from trying, because if you do not try, then you will not know what you can possibly achieve or what you can attain in this life. So that fear of rejection, the worst thing the person can tell you is no. Zero your mind and tell yourself the worst thing that person can tell you is no. Move forward and take that step anyway. The third fear that a lot of people are afraid of is fear of humiliation. People don't want to be humiliated. People don't want to be laughed at. People don't want to be made fun of. But that shouldn't stop you from doing that thing which you want to do. In fact, it is good for you to stand out. You need to stand out in this life. If you're going to make an impact, you're going to leave your mark on this world, on this generation, you need to stand out. So don't be afraid of being humiliated or being ridiculed. Go forward, take it and do it. Finally, there's that 4th fear, which is the fear of injury, sickness and death. Okay, that fear of death, a lot of people are afraid of it. It's called thanatophobia, fear of death. But you should not be afraid to die, because keep it at the back of your mind. One day you are going to die. Everybody is going to die. Okay, I know some people will say, oh, God forbid. Everybody is going to die at some point. The prayer is that you should not die before the time God has appointed for you, or before you have fulfilled your purpose in this life. But just keep it at the back of your mind that one day we are moving slowly and surely towards death. Once you have that in your mind and you have made peace with it, then you can go out and live your best life. Do everything that you need to do, that you want to do. Add value to yourself, add value to others. That is very, very important. Do not be afraid, okay, of the fear of death, or the fear of illness, or the fear of injury. Okay, cover your bases, do your research, take all the precautions you need to take, but then proceed forward. It is very, very important. I'm speaking to somebody right now. And then finally, that fear of missing out that a lot of young people, a lot of millennials and Gen X's Gen Z's are afraid of. The fear of missing out. They're afraid that something is going on somewhere and they are missing out on it, or they're afraid of missing out on an event or being a part of history. I'm not saying it's not a legitimate fear, but you should not let that fear decide for you. Don't let it drive your decisions. don't be afraid of missing out. You need to miss out some things so that you can create some other things for yourself, so that you can be a part of something else. So if you're watching this video right now, if you fall in Gen Z or the millennials, then don't be afraid of missing out. It is not a fear that should, that should decide your life for you. All right, I hope somebody that's watching this video is picking something from it, because it is very, very important to me. Like I said, right now I'm in the States and I have talked to some people. We have discussed extensively. I quoted portions of my new book, One More Round for them. It's a wonderful book. If you want to get a copy of that book, send a WhatsApp message to the number at the bottom of the screen, and you will realize that fear is, like they say, is a mile wide and is an inch deep. What do I mean by this? Fear looks so big, it's so big in our minds, okay? It seems to cover so much space in our minds. But when you step in, you discover that fear is just an inch deep. It doesn't even get up to your ankles. That is exactly what fear is. It has no power over you except the power that you give it. Now, how do you see this video? If this video was helpful, please and please go ahead and click like. Share this video with somebody who needs it. Subscribe to my channel. My name is Ifeanyi, and this is 360 Degree Mastery. And like I said, I'm reaching you from the US. Please and please go ahead and get a copy of my book, One More Round. That book is a blessing. That book is for you. That book will help you, okay, to develop a fighter's mindset to face the challenges that you have in this life. I will see you next week. Hopefully by then, I would have returned back to the country with more tips and more information on how you can live a better, happier, and more successful life with peace of mind. Namaste.